Okay, students, today let us study the concept of DNA fingerprinting. As you know, DNA fingerprinting is used to solve murder mysteries. If you get a drop of blood from the murder scene, you can easily identify the crime from the suspects. If you have got 2-3 suspects and you have issued a drop of blood and you compare the DNA of the drop of blood with the suspect using DNA fingerprinting technique, you can reach up to the criminal. And it is also used in case of paternity test. Suppose in some cases a person doesn't accept that he is the father of a child, then in that case DNA fingerprinting is used. As you know, 99.9% of human DNA is same. .9% of human DNA is same. Only 0.1% is different. .9% human DNA is same. Only 0.1% is different. It is this different DNA which we shall use in case of DNA fingerprinting. Now suppose this is a DNA strand. This is one gene. This is another gene. This is another gene. As you know, entire DNA is not converted into protein. Only this gene will form protein, this gene will form protein, and this gene will form protein. Okay? This portion of the gene, it will not form proteins. So it is this portion which we shall use in case of DNA fingerprinting. This portion will not form protein. Or it is also called as junk DNA. This is the junk DNA which is useful for DNA fingerprinting. So in this junk DNA, what you will find is that a sequence, suppose A, C, T, G. This sequence will repeat here for several times, suppose for 5 times. In my case, in some other case it will be for 7 times. Another person's case it can be for 7 times. So the repetition of this base sequence is different in different people. So this difference in the repetitive sequence is used in DNA fingerprinting. It is called as repetitive sequence. Suppose in my case this sequence is repeating for 5 times. So in other person's case it will repeat for 7 times. In some other's case it may repeat for 3 times. So this variation of the repeating sequence or polymorphism will help us to identify or match the DNA of the criminal and the murder. Okay. This sequence is also called as variable sequence. Variable sequence of tandem repeat. This repeating sequence is also called as variable sequence of tandem repeat, or sorry, it is not sequence, it is number. Variable number tandem repeat. Or VNTR. Variable number of tandem repeat, or VNTR. So now let us study the varied stages. The first stage is, okay, let us have a pair of homologous chromosomes. Suppose this is some person called as X, and this is the homologous pair of Y, and this is the homologous pair of Z. Here, suppose the repetitive sequence or base pair sequence repetition is for 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Here it is for 2 times. Then in case of Y, this is for 5 times. Here it can be for 4 times. In the case of Z, it can be for 6 times. In this case, it can be for 7 times. This is 3, this is 2, this is 5, this is 4, this is 6, this is 7. These are the 3 suspects which we are considering having this type of repetitive sequence. Okay. Now what is the first stage? First step is isolation. In this step, this DNA is passed through DNA gradient, density gradient centrifugation. Okay, this DNA is passed through density gradient centrifugation. Density gradient centrifugation. After this process, we will get 2 peaks. This will be the peak for bulk DNA, and this is called as satellite DNA. This bulk DNA is of no use for us. We shall use satellite DNA. And again this satellite DNA is divided into mini satellite microsatellite. Mini satellite and microsatellite. This is the mini satellite which we shall use for DNA fingerprinting. Okay. Now the second step is the process of digestion is done by the enzyme called restriction endonuclease. Restriction endonuclease. This enzyme cuts the DNA fragments from a specific point. So, suppose this cuts this DNA from here. It cuts the DNA from the specific points like this. So, the second step is called as digestion. The third step is called as electrophoresis. Electrophoresis. Electrophoresis helps in the separation of the DNA fragments. Okay. So in DNA, in electrophoresis, a bed is taken. It can be a bed of agarose gel. It can be a bed of agarose gel. Here, one positive charge is kept. As you know, DNA is negatively charged. Here is the positive charge and the negatively charged DNA is put here. So according to the size of the particle and the amount of charge they are carrying, the DNA will run towards the positive charge. So suppose in case of X, two types of bands will form here. This will be 1 or 2 and this will be another or 3. Likewise, the bands will form from Y and Z2. Okay. So, electrophoresis will help us to separate the DNA fragments. Now after electrophoresis, the process of blotting is done. The process of blotting is done. In case of blotting, the DNA fragments are transferred into nitrocellulose paper. It is called as nitrocellulose paper. The process is called as blotting. The fragments are transferred onto nitrocellulose paper. This process is called as blotting. Okay. Then the fifth step is hybridization. The fifth process is hybridization. In this case, a probe is used, a radioactive probe is used, so that we can identify the fragments. Okay. Suppose in this case our base pair sequence was A, C, E, G. So what will be the complementary base pairing? This is E, G, A, C. This complementary radioactive base pair, it will be called as probe, and it will be introduced here. So this process is called as hybridization. So the picture which we will get will be like this. Suppose this is the band for 2 and this is for 3. So this complementary base pair will come and will get attached here like this. Like this. This is called as hybridization. And the last step is autoradiography. The last step is autoradiography. By autoradiography, we can easily see the kinds of band formation, the schematic structure of band formation, and we can compare those formation of bands with that of DNA structure which we have got through the drop of blood from the crime site. Okay. Now this is X, Y and Z. In this case, suppose the structure form is like this. In case of Y, five and 4, and in case of Z, it is 6 and 7. Now this is the schematic representation of band formation after all the stages. Suppose we compare this with the drop of blood which we got through murder site. Suppose that structure resembles the Z structure like this. For C, the bond formation is like this. Hence, from this, we can conclude that Z is the suspect who has committed the crime. Okay? I hope you understood the concept of DNA fingerprinting. And again, one thing, this concept was developed by Alec Jeffries. This concept was developed by Alex Jeffries. So please share and transfer the video. Thank you.